Welcome to the Inner West Library's July School Holiday Program for Youth. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Gadigal and Wangal people of the Eora Nation, and to pay my deepest respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. I'm going to hand you over now to Dan from Loose Leaf Literature, who's going to share with you some creative writing techniques in support of your entry into the Young Creatives Awards 2020. Enjoy!
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Pryor, and once again, I'm not going to teach you a thing about writing. But hopefully you'll still learn something. Last time we were looking at different techniques to come up with various ideas to get our pen moving. Something that's very important with writing is not actually writing, but editing and finding our mistakes. This is a long and really painful process, but that's where your real writing is going to show through. Now, editing is merely reading and reading again, but also being critical of our own work. So these techniques today and these tools should hopefully give you some idea and some perspective on your own writing and what you're trying to say. The first technique that we're going to look at, I call one by one. And this is a very simple way to think very clearly about what you want to talk about, what your topic is, where you want to take it, and what you want to focus on. One by one is merely writing a sentence, one word at a time. Your first sentence is one word. Your second sentence will be 2 words. Third sentence, 3 words, and so on. There's no limit to this. You can change the quantity. You could do 2 words, 4 words, however you want it. But you can start with keeping it simple. Think about your topic, what you're trying to focus on. This could be anything from a political topic, fantasy topic, anything you're writing about. Start with that as your first word and start branching out. The limit will force you to focus and be very particular about what you want to say. I'm a big fan about writing about words. So, my one, words into sentences, piled in paragraphs, packing up your pages. Many pages make chapters. Chapters build into a book. All books start with one word. That's your format. It's a very simple one, and you can go as far as you want. Focus, and you will be able to write a little bit clearer about what you want to say. This next activity is called Say It Again. How you can do this is either with one sentence, an entire scene, or if you're really ambitious, a whole book. If you're going to do that, you might end up with about 8 different books, so maybe just start with one sentence. But you take your sentence and you write it again, differently. Then write it again. And keep writing it until you have as many variations of that single sentence as possible. Once you do, which one has the most impact? Changing a sentence doesn't always need to be a complete rewrite. You can use the same words. You could use the same structure. Swapping around who your subject is. Swapping around what the focus is. Then you can play with the words. A sentence I wrote, it's a rainy day in the city. Okay? Now write it again. The city was being showered today. All right. Again. The rain fell in the city today. Again. The day was filled with rain in the city. You can keep going with this. You can change your vocabulary. Rain could become shower or storm. You could keep playing with it and keep fixing it and transforming it until you get something that you don't want to change. That's when you found the writing you want to focus on. The third activity is called correspondence. Now, this is really to think about how your writing is going to be read. So to start with this, write a letter. It doesn't need to be to anyone. It can be. It doesn't need to be to anything. It can be. You could write to your computer, to your car, to an idea, to gravity, to God, to a politician. Maybe not to a politician. But write either a complaint or a compliment. Write earnest and honest, and share your opinion about it, even if you don't have one. I wrote a letter to the sun. Dear sun, thank you for exploding. I know it's not easy being a giant ball of fire, but you pull it off every day. I know you tend to burn people who get too close, but if you're there for me, I'll be there for you. P.S. If you could ease up on the melanomas, that would be great. Love, Dan. Write your letter, read it, and then reply as the thing you're writing to. Dear Dan, it burns! Why doesn't anyone call the fire brigade? There's fire everywhere. Someone called 000. It burns! It burns! Love, the sun. By thinking about what someone's written and replying, if I'm writing to a sun that's a ball of fire and exploding, how would I feel if I was on fire? Not very good. But write your letters. Send it back and forth between yourself and yourself. Think about what you've written. Think about the content, how you're choosing your words. And then write back. These are just another 3 techniques. Again, what you learn from them is completely on you. Writing is a personal experience. Reading, that's the finished product. So take your time and write. We only had a few minutes today. You've got years to write. So you can take as long as you need. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you get some writing done, and hopefully I'll see you next time.